She was my entire world. I'm not ashamed to say that. Basically, everything I was doing outside of being around Sophie was really just to make it so we could have a decent life together, and just some child comes along and decides to ruin it all for you. It's just not fair.
All you can do is hope that as time goes on it does get easier. But I'm beginning to think that that's not true.
I've known Sophie since we were about 3. We went to playgroup together and we went to primary school together. Basically she was more like a sister than a best friend, really. She was different. She was always happy. I remember her wearing bright green trainers for PE. When everyone used to have brown knuckle pumps and she had bright green ones.
She just was who she was. And obviously she was never meant to be anything else, I don't think. And the fact that, you know, young people can't accept or respect, you know, different people's individuality, that's their problem, actually.
You don't do that to a young girl. You don't do that to anyone. But there's certain codes you have to live by as a man, and number one is just you do not beat up a girl.
Those young people laughed at her while she was being brave and courageous, and all she did was try to protect. But those young people will never, ever be as brave or as courageous as she was.
I just really wish she just legged it, just got out of there and wait until they'd left and come back. But I wish she'd left me to die, if I'm to be honest.
They'd no right to touch my daughter. They'd no right to touch Rob.
You might call it gothic, you might call it alternative, but to many it's a world apart. It's difficult to define. A youth culture built around music, characterised by stark makeup, dark clothing, pale skin, and above all else, difference. And difference attracts danger.
Yeah, there's a couple of times when people have come up behind me, kick on me.
We feel safe in this environment because everyone's the same. It's just when you leave here that's when the worry starts.
Just walking down the street and you just get shouted at, you know, spat at.
Morgan Shaw represents the Gothic Liberation Front, a movement given fresh impetus by Sophie Lancaster's death. It has branches here, in Germany, France, Australia and the States.
We try to fight for awareness, unity, get people aware, give them more self-confidence to keep doing what they are doing, be themselves, and to come together and to prevent that any attacks like that will ever happen again.
There's always been conflict between youth cultures. The mods and rockers' seaside battles characterised the 60s. But the hostility faced by goths has no neat dividing lines. Abuse can come from people of all ages. Aid Varney is a Gothic artist from Birmingham. What happened to Sophie inspired him to launch a campaign for hate crime legislation to be widened.
I would hope that an attack upon a person because of the way they're dressed will be dealt with with the same severity as a person who is attacked because of the colour of their skin, or because of their religious belief, or because of their gender identity, or because of their sexuality.
Sophie's family and friends want something positive to come from the tragedy. That's the Sophie campaign. Stamp out prejudice, hate and intolerance everywhere. She's made her mark too on the goth community, in Whitby, the subculture's spiritual home.
People assume you're a kind of baby eater, that you're a Satanist, that you bite chickens' heads off. And it's just a nonsense. It's down to ignorance, it's down to intolerance, it's down to lack of social understanding and lack of respect for different people.
The sad fact is Sophie Lancaster won't be the last victim of intolerance to difference.
But if her story and the campaign that bears her name protects just one person in the future, then her short life will have made all the difference.
Peter Marshall, North West Tonight, Bake Up.